do have a few storms out there right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar. Not a huge crop of storms, a little spotty shower activity, but enough to definitely cause a big downpour every now and then. Let's take a look at the Albuquerque area where we're watching one storm which is moving through the northwestern corner of Valencia County right now. If this storm holds together, we could be looking at a shower over the city of Albuquerque over the next half hour to 45 minutes or so as this storm works its way into Bernalillo County. As we spread the picture out to far areas to the north, we are looking at some shower activity in areas like Espanola over toward Cuba, now starting to dry out after a shower and storm passed through your area. And we also have a few spotty showers just to the east of Grants. As we look down to the south, we're also looking at a few showers now making their way towards Socorro, and we're also looking at some showers over the northern portions of the Gila. In the eastern part of the state, we're watching a few storms, some of which are now moving through Corona and Vaughn. And the eastern portion of the state is the area we're going to have to watch very closely for severe weather this afternoon. They are under a slight risk for severe weather, so any showers or storms that develop here, we will have to keep a close eye on throughout the afternoon. Right now in Albuquerque, 81 degrees the current temperature with the south wind at 10 miles per hour. Temperatures across the north into the 70s, down to the south 70s, 80s, and 90s this afternoon. 94 in Deming, a little bit cooler across the southeast where we still have some of that cooler air in place from that cold front that slid through yesterday. Only 77 in Roswell, 77 in Hobbs, low 80s for Carlsbad, but we are going to crank the heat back up as the effects of that front start to go away. We will get some of that heat to return over the weekend as we start to dry out. Winds on the gusty side this afternoon, 33 mile per hour wind gusts in Las Vegas, 30 in Taos, 33 in Gallup, 21 in Grants. And we will continue to watch for some gusty winds, especially if you end up underneath one of the storms this afternoon. But over the weekend, we get into a southwesterly flow and start to dry out. We're also going to keep some more widespread winds around, especially for the northern half of the state during the day tomorrow. We could see winds sustained over 30 miles per hour over the northern mountains tomorrow afternoon, and we'll continue to deal with some of that wind during the day on Sunday as well. Spreading the picture out, we do have a few of those showers going over in New Mexico, but you can see much drier air out to the west, and that's going to set up over the weekend. So enjoy the shower chances while you have them this afternoon, because once we get past today, we are going to start to see those drier conditions take over the state, and it is going to get hotter with temperatures back to the upper 90s to near 100 across the south. Albuquerque back into the low to mid 90s over the weekend as well. We may have a chance at a couple more storms across the far eastern portion of the state tomorrow, but for the most part, things will be drying out as we heat up. Southern Colorado highs today, into the low to mid 80s this afternoon with breezy conditions, and we will see highs in the upper 70s through the weekend and then back to the low 80s early next week. Over the northwest, windy with winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, highs into the upper 80s to low 90s, into the mid to upper 80s over the weekend, back to near 90 by early next week. Over the southwest, partly cloudy skies, isolated storms possible throughout the afternoon, highs into the mid to upper 90s this afternoon, staying warm through the weekend and into early next week, but drier. Over the southeast, spot storms possible this afternoon. We'll have to watch for a couple of those to be on the strong side as well. We'll have a chance of maybe a couple more storms in the far eastern portion of the state for tomorrow, but highs back into the low hundreds over the weekend into early next week. Over the northeast, scattered storms possible for this afternoon. Highs into the upper 70s to low 80s, mid 80s for tomorrow with a chance at a couple more storms before we dry out Sunday into Monday. Over the northern mountains, a few storms this afternoon with highs into the 70s and 80s, mid 80s for Saturday with drier conditions, and we stay in the mid 80s into early next week. Over the east mountains, partly sunny skies, isolated storms, highs in the mid to upper 80s. In the metro, we'll top out in the upper 80s to low 90s this afternoon. We'll have that chance at a few storms throughout the afternoon, but once we get past this afternoon, things dry out as we heat back up into the low 90s for tomorrow, and we continue to see temperatures right around 90 degrees through the end of the weekend and early next week.
Okay, thank you, John.